Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're solving the first question in LeetCode number 1, two-sum. Again, feel free to pause the video to read through the question, or feel free to use the link in the description to go to the actual LeetCode page that has this question. However, I'm going to explain it through the example as always. Given an input array of nums, a bunch of numbers in there, and a target of 9, return the indices of 2 items, the first 2 that add up to the target. For instance, in this case, the first 2 are 2 and 7. Index of 0, index of 1, they add up to 9, so we return an array with those 2 indices. Second example, again, we want target is 6. We want the first 2 that add up to 6, so it's not 3 and 2 because that's 5, it's 2 and 4, which is indices 1 because this is 0, 1, 2, and in this 2. And in this one, target is 6, we have 3 in this, obviously 0 and 1. So without further ado, let's get our hands dirty. As always, we use Python 3. So when I see questions like this, first thing I think is hash maps or hash tables, or in Python they're called dictionaries. So I'm going to create a dictionary called nummap. You can call it whatever you want, you don't have to call it what I called it. Again, it's an empty dictionary with who I want to go through and populate. Okay, so I'm going to say for I, again, the enumerate function, I hope I spelled it correctly, I suck at spelling, but since it's highlighted, I think I did, since it changed color. Okay, nums. So all this function does enumerate, it just gives you the index, so it goes through this list nums and gives you the index and each value. So for instance, in the case where it's 2, 7, in the place of I, it's going to give you 0, and in place of num is going to give you 2 in the first iteration. Second iteration is going to give you 1 and 7. Third iteration is going to give you 2 and 11. Fourth iteration is going to give you 3 and 15. So that's simply what the enumerate does. But anyways, so looping through this, I want to create a variable called difference. Difference is just the target we want. Again, whenever coding, I try to copy and paste as much as possible to avoid typing error. Okay, minus the number. Okay, we want to find the difference every loop. Okay, now we have a simple if statement. If diff, okay, so this nummax is just gonna keep track of all the different numbers we've seen. So if this difference, because we already know what the num is, we're iterating through it. However, if this diff exists in this dictionary, okay, if it exists, I just want to return. What do I want to return? The question is asking for a list, okay, a list of the indices. I want to return I, which is the current index I'm on, and also I want to return, keep in mind, I'll show you what we're saving in this dictionary after, but however, now I want to return this dictionary, the value of this index. The aim with this dictionary is, as we loop, we want to save, okay, we want to save as key value pairs in this dictionary. The key is going to be the diff, this diff we're calculating at every loop, and the value is going to be his index, which is going to be I whenever we get to him. So anyways, we want to return this. However, we want to return it sorted because we want the smaller guy to come first and the bigger guy, okay, to come second. Just in the case where we reach 7 before we reach 2, we want it to come first before 7. Okay, so once you do this, if you return this, however, once you return this, we want to go, if we go in here, however, if we don't go in here, what we want to do is we want to add to our dictionary. So this guy of num, actually not diff, it's just gonna be equal to I. Okay, again, key value pair. We're doing it every time we iterate through this loop. However, we break out if we find the diff already in there. We're looking just for the first ones that add up. And in this case, if we go through this loop completely, maybe diff is the last item in the loop, then we'll go through this completely and we wouldn't return this because he's not going to be in the loop at the time we get here. So once we go through this loop completely, then we're going to return, which is once we get to the last index. Again, still the same format. We want to sort it. Okay, we want to return sorted map div. Okay, I think this is correct. Let's go ahead and check it out. Boom, faster than 81%. Damn, that's pretty good. less memory than 90%. This is pretty good. This is really good. So however, let's move on. So as always, we like to visualize our code after every program works. So again, this is the exact same code we just wrote in LeetCode. However, I extracted the function and also created a code to drive it. So again, I created this with the first example, the target, and then I'm calling it. Okay, let me add a print statement actually. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and visualize it. Okay, let's go. Okay, so now we just declared the function, declared nums. Nums is a list. This is what it contains, just like we declared. Target is 9. And keep in mind the green shows you what line just executed. The red is the next line to execute. Okay, let's move on. So now a function call was made. We pass num and target. That's why num and target are both defined the same inside in the global scope and in the local scope. This is the global scope here. The function is the local scope. Two-sum, that's scope. I like two-sums. I'm just joking. But yeah, so let's keep on going. So first, we create the empty dictionary, just like we did here. Okay, let's go to the next one. And then we go into the for loop. Okay, I is just gonna execute. So I is gonna be 0. Like we said, it takes the index and the actual number in that index. And num is gonna be 2, okay? Calculates the difference, which is our target, minus 2, which is 7. Then it's gonna look, if 7 is in the dictionary, it's gonna return this. In this case, our dictionary is still empty. Where's dict? Where is our dictionary? Num map. Okay, num map is an empty dictionary. So he's just gonna skip this if and go back to the and go here and add 2 and his index to it. So let's see. Okay, boom, adds 2 with index 0, then goes back. So now we're at 7 and 1. So I is gonna be changed to 7. I is gonna be 1, and num is gonna be 7 once I run it next. Boom, it is. So now we're gonna check again. We're gonna calculate the diff. Difference is 9 minus 7, which is 2. Okay, boom, we get diff of 2. Now we're gonna check, is 2 in the dictionary? In this case, this is the dictionary we're creating. 2 is there, his index is 0. So we want to return his index, okay, in this array. So we want to return these two guys, right? Boom, boom, boom. We return him and we get 0, 1, just like I expected. That's it for the video, guys. Be sure to tune in for the next one. I'll see you guys later.